All right, let's dive into a topic that's, well, a huge shift for IT. For years, a device's identity was basically chained to the Office network. But now, with work happening literally everywhere, our whole approach to identity has to change. So, we're going to break down what that really means for you.
And that brings us to the big question, right? Is your infrastructure built for yesterday's Office, or is it ready for today's reality? To really understand where we're going, we first have to take a quick look back at where we've been.
Think about it. For decades, the IT universe was pretty straightforward. It was all defined by the four walls of the office building. Everything, our servers, our data, our people, it was all tucked away inside a nice, secure perimeter. This was the era of the on-prem domain. And sitting on the throne of that kingdom? Well, that was Active Directory. It was the ultimate gatekeeper. If your Windows PC was joined to that domain, it had a trusted identity. It could get to file servers, printers, local apps, the whole shebang. It was powerful, it was reliable, but its power was directly tied to that physical network.
So you can basically see these two parallel universes that IT teams are trying to juggle right now. On one side, you've got the classic Office setup, PCs tied to local servers. And on the other, you have the reality of today, users on any device from anywhere hitting cloud apps like Microsoft 365. The problem is, these two worlds are playing by completely different rules.
Okay, so what happens when your users and your apps just leave the building? Well, that old model, it really starts to show its cracks. It creates a whole new set of challenges that, frankly, demand a modern solution.
These are the exact challenges that are probably keeping you up at night. Your users are living and breathing in cloud apps. You're trying to manage tablets and phones that can't even be domain joined. And you're supporting remote workers who might never set foot in an office. The old playbook, it just wasn't written for this game. So to tackle these modern problems, you can't use old tools. You need a modern answer for identity. You need a kind of digital headquarters that lives in the cloud, not in some server room. And that solution is Microsoft Entra Join.
So what is this thing really? Well, the concept is actually incredibly simple. Instead of joining a device to a server rack in an office, you're joining it directly to the cloud with Microsoft Entra ID. And for your users, this is a game changer. It means one single work account, the exact same one they use for Microsoft 365, is all they need to sign into their computer, no matter where they are.
Okay, so let's get practical for a minute. Who can actually use this? Well, it's not for every device out there. We're mainly talking about your Windows 10 and 11 machines, so no home editions, and your modern Windows servers running up in Azure. The key thing to see here is that this is built from the ground up for the modern Windows ecosystem.
All right, so we know what it is, we know who can use it. But the real question is, why should you care? What's the actual payoff? Well, this is where we get to the good stuff. This is where we talk about the modern superpowers you unlock for both your organization and your users. Let's kick things off with the number one benefit. And honestly, this is the one your users are going to love you for every single day. We're talking about making that pesky password prompt a thing of the past.
But look, single sign-on, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Your users get their settings to follow them from one device to another. They can use Windows Hello to log in with their face or a PIN. No more passwords. And for IT, oh man, the real power comes from stuff like conditional access. This lets you set rules like, hey, only trusted, healthy devices can get to our sensitive data. And the best part, even with all this cloud-native power, you still get seamless access to those old local servers when you're in the office.
And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The whole goal here is a smooth, frictionless workday. When the technology just gets out of the way, people can actually get their work done. Fewer password pop-ups means happier users, and let's be real, way fewer help desk tickets for you. But here's the thing. Just having a cloud identity, that's only half the story. The real power isn't just in connecting a device, it's about managing and securing it, no matter where in the world that device happens to be.
And let's be honest for a second. Here's the hard truth. Group policy, the tool we've relied on for years, it just can't do this job. It was never designed to manage a smartphone or a tablet, or even a laptop that only connects to the corporate network once a month. You need a tool that was born in the cloud.
And this is what that new, modern workflow actually looks like in practice. It's beautiful, really. A user with the right license joins their device to Entra ID. Then you can have it set up to automatically enroll into a mobile device management, or MDM, solution like Microsoft Intune.
And from that moment on, you are pushing policies, apps, and settings down to that device right from the cloud, wherever it is.
Okay, so if there's one thing you remember from all of this, let it be this. Microsoft Entra Join isn't just another way to log in. It's the foundation. It's the concrete slab you pour so you can build a modern, cloud-first device management strategy that's actually ready for the future of work.
And you know what? That brings us right back to where we started. Your users are in the cloud, your data is in the cloud, your devices can now have their identity in the cloud too. So the only question left is your management strategy ready to join them?
Thanks for watching.